Reminder, today's conference is being recorded.
Okay.
So, and Tim asked me to join this session.
Yeah, you've been participating several times now, right?
I think it's the third time now.
Okay. So, how do you like it?
It's, I think, very good to
Joining
have,
conference.
experienced users in this call and to interchange views and perspectives. So, yeah, it's a very good tool.
Did you see all the recordings?
No,
No,
not yet. But yeah, the mail just reminded me to have a look at that. I will do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you see the weighing example? Or nothing at all?
Not yet.
Ah, okay. No problem.
Yeah.
Hold on. Just needed to close the door. So, Michael, you're also here. Hi.
Hi, Anu.
Hi, how are you? So, there's some people dropping in, but let's chat a little bit. Alright, are you using PI sheets at the moment at Kraft?
Yes, we do. Very extensively.
Okay.
In several plants. All the plants where we have no automatic interface to MES.
Joining conference.
PI sheets. But, we are also
Joining conference.
looking to replace them and to make it much easier for the users.
Okay. How many users are using PI sheets at Kraft?
I would say maybe around 30.
30.
30 in Europe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Hello to those who joined right now. So we were just chatting a little bit. So if you if you want, you can join us. I was just asking Harald here from Kraft Foods about how extensively they're using PI sheets, and you said that you're using them there where you don't have any sort of MES system running, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
So, hi Mohan.
Hi, Arnie. How are you doing?
How are you?
I'm doing good, thank you.
Good. How about your little problem? Did you have any further success now, or is it still pending?
It's not success, but like yesterday when I was discussing with
Your call has been put on hold. Please stay on the line.
Okay.
Yeah, yesterday he given me like a different idea, just swapping those two tables, just first showing the sum table and then showing the add materials table, and which is working great.
Okay.
Yeah, but now we are discussing with the business whether that is an acceptable solution for them or not.
I think maybe I show one of my examples which uses a tabular function module so that you can see.
Joining conference.
Maybe you see some differences there with your setup and.
Yep.
But I must say, I mean, if you're using these function modules there, and something is not working in that way, it's most probably there's some you just made some maybe some mistake there. So probably it won't be able to be solved by OSS because they say, oh well, this is consulting.
Oh really?
But you can try. How many people at IDEX are using PI sheets, by the way?
See, as of now, like we have like 6 lines of business areas, and as of now we have rolled out only in 2 business areas.
Alexandra.
Okay.
And so currently I can say around 20 people are using the PA sheets today.
Okay.
Because we runs like 3 shifts in a day.
So that means 3 times 20 because it's the.
No. I'm saying like the total is going to be 20.
Okay. Okay.
So including 3 shifts. Maybe because we have the temps also. I'm not counting the temps.
Okay.
If I count temps and everybody, probably it would be around 30 to 35, I can say.
It's interesting for us at SAP also to see or to know how many people are actually using a certain functionality also for our internal sort of marketing. Yes.
Okay, that's good. But like we have the plans, like we are going to roll out like further business lines of business areas also. And once we roll out all the areas, I can say it could be around 80.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, there's one big customer of SAP. I won't say the name now, but they are about thousands of users for PI sheets, and that really sort of thrills me.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a global one. Hi, Alexandra, by the way. Alexandra?
Hi, Arne.
Hi.
Hi, Arne, and hi to everybody in the conference call. Sorry for the delay.
No problem. We were just chatting so far, and well, maybe now we are at the critical mass that we can start. I mean, not many people, but then it's also easier to chat a little bit.
Okay.
If there are too many people, then it becomes cumbersome. Yeah, I got one request by mail before our today's sessions by Jitendra.
Yeah.
You asked me to show a little bit the customizing setup for discrete XStep's, correct?
Yeah, actually, I'm not able to find the setting for the discrete manufacturing process orders. Sorry, production orders.
Okay. I will briefly show this to you.
Yeah.
Did everybody did put some answers on my little poll, maybe? Okay. So especially with the topics, I'm not sure that it's now right now I can so, good. Well, that's the result here. Let's switch over to presentation, then I can answer the question of Jitendra, and maybe the second thing I promised to Mohan to show a small example of a tabular function module again to see whether he did something wrong there at IDEX. So I'll switch over to presentation here and start. Okay, do you see the R3 screen here? Yep. Okay. So you're looking at the IMG, the customizing IMG, and for discrete manufacturing, you need to go into the business function, of course.
Okay.
Essential is also the STM extension, so that's one of the preconditions here. In the business function, you need to scroll down here. log_pp is the area where you have to look anyway here, and there we've got this one, which says XStep's for routing and production order. So this business function must be switched on. If not, you won't be able to use XStep's for production order.
Okay.
And you need to have a release, so that the enhancement pack 3, so ETC 6 and enhancement pack 3, and only with enhancement pack 3 you get this business function, of course. Yep. apart from that, I don't see much you need to do. If you switch on this, this should work. Did you do that and it doesn't work?
No, actually, I could not check that rigid version.
Okay, you couldn't check this. Okay.
Yeah.
So please go ahead and check this, and then you should be fine.
Okay, I will try it and then I will reply.
Okay. Any other questions on that from other people? Okay. Right. So the other thing I wanted to show, and maybe I'm not quite sure whether I did demonstrate this example so far. And any comments on this? Do you recognize this?
Negative.
Okay.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, that's one of my examples, and that's I do for ASAC. So I always do some complex stuff there to demonstrate what is possible with XStepPI sheets. And so maybe first I'll look into that special thing with the tabular parameter. So here in this section here, you see actually three things. So first of all, I did some style sheet modification here to give some big entry fields and big buttons here, for touchscreen purposes. So second, I've got here this area. This is actually an iframe. So this is HTML text which contains an iframe which points to an MII applet. So this is MII content that you see here, and it shows actually the content of a SQL database with context to this actual production order. So the order is not seen here because it's selected with this order, so the one up here. And what I can do here, I can put something like pressure here and say 13 bar, and I press send, and this button here is a function module which creates an HTTP request to MII, sending this information, and once MII gets it, this applet here, it has a refresh rate here, so you see what I have entered right now here. And what I wanted to show to Mohan now is this is a function module which does it vice versa. So this function module first makes a query to MII, getting data, and this data is tabular. So you see this is a table here, and when I get this data, I write that data then to this table as tabular parameters. And I press this button here, you see that the table is populated with exactly the same information that you see here. Okay.
Okay.
And now I'm switching over to the production order where this is sitting here, and this is the section that you see right now here. So this whole except here is what you saw right now, and this is the function module. That one here. This is the table, and of course I've got here these parameters, which I call LT underscore something. Yep. And in the function module here, parameters, and here you see there are some parameters here, like RFC destination. This is some this is some information I need for the query to run. So I need to provide the order and the operation here, so that it can select the data accordingly. And here down there, I've got these parameters of type table. Yes, and they are these tabular values. So here you should see tables, and this also should have a flag here. So this is all tabular. And now I switch over to the function module here, and it has several, like the source code has several importing, exporting, and other parameters. And the ones you should use here is the table parameters. And I think I forgot to welcome Eivind Koldrup. Hello to you. And I had a discussion with him about which parameters to use here in these function modules. And there is a warning you get if you create parameters here in the function module under this section, which says that this type is obsolete. Well, of course, I cannot really promise that in far future this might be somehow be discontinued, but I doubt it, because this is really used also in the system, I believe. I try to use export or import parameters with some specific types that are tabular, but I face some problems here. So my experience is you use these table parameters, and this is what you need to do. You need to have this structure created before, so I double click here. In this case it's a character structure, so it must have only one entry, so I always call it value, but then this name is up to you. And in this case I use the char 30 because that complies with the characteristics of type character in the PI sheet and with instruction area. So this is what you need to set up first, and then you need to use this structure for the definition of these parameters, like, and then you can use them in your source code. And of course in ABAP you need to do all these tabular operations, which was a little bit more complicated as if you do it with scalar variables. But anyway, so this is all you need to do. So Mohan, did you find any differences there compared to your setup? Do you know?
No, we are doing the same thing, the same kind of like I have created the table type instead of the structure, then I'm using the table type as the table in the function module.
Well, that's odd. So, well, maybe
but and you mentioned like in future, so you are going to take out the tables.
No. I didn't say that we do that. I said I cannot promise that it maybe in the future, but this is really don't say see it the other way around, please.
No. Yesterday when I was talking with the SAP development support guy, he also mentioned the same thing.
Yeah.
So he said like probably we may need to revisit on this one in future releases sometime. But he said like
for now, please try to use these tables parameters, and then this will work. And if it still does not work at your side, maybe it is an error. So maybe they find something.
Okay.
But if you do it exactly that way, maybe it's you're correct. But I would need to look at your setup for the time.
Okay. Yeah, the function module was the same setup, like whatever you are showing, the same thing. You don't see any difference in my function.
Also here. Okay.
Yep, here also the same thing. I create the parameters of type table, and we are passing into the table parameters of the function.
Okay. Good. So, well, actually, if there are no questions on that, I could explain to you this setup, what I did here, especially above here, if you want. Is that something you're interested in? I didn't remember what was. I think the table parameters was highest ranking in your wish list right now in the polling. So
yeah.
So and that's also what I do here in that section. This is basically a confirmation screen. I set up, and I will maybe demonstrate it so that you see what this does. Actually, first of all, what you see here above here is basically 5 operations of the same order, and I set it up the routing here in a way that every operation here is assigned to another control recipe destination. So that every operator here in discrete has his own set of work instructions, and they are working one after another. So that is the demo concept I use here. And what you see here is actually the status, the confirmation status of the operations before. So I'm now here in operation 30, so I'm just about to start here, and I see that these have already been confirmed final with 10% scrap. So the quantity is here 10, so it's 1 piece of scrap and 9 pieces of positive yield. And that one here is already also worked on, but not finished. And actually, this is an analytics screen also from MII here. So this is MII here as well, and this is also MII, where I see some operation data. Of course, this is empty right now here. I can switch to this flex screen, which is a little bit nicer, and there I've got a slider, so I can show you what happened in operation 10 here. So you see here that is a time series of all the yield, scrap, and so this is yield and scrap. This is 100% here above here, and here you see the different activities: setup, machine, and labor. So these are this is setup. Here this is labor. This is machine that has been confirmed. This is the time series here, and what you see here actually is this is a normalized visualization. So blue is yield. So this is the ideal line, and all is relative to the yield. And you see all that is below this line is sort of better than planned, and all which would be above the blue line would be worse than planned, more than planned. So and what I did here is this is a grouped instruction of all the activities here. Actually, but I think it's not grouped. It's a table, a repeated data request, which I populated with a function module. But anyway, this won't grow. It has only these 3 lines because there are only 3 activities with this operation. And what I do here, when I press this button setup, I record the date and time here, and set status to running here, and I can press again, and you see that the system then calculates from this date and time how much time has elapsed, right? So normally, if you've got shop floor papers, you need to write down the times you have used for setup and production and labor. And here the system does all this for you. You just press start and stop if you're doing a break. And so, for instance, I say, okay, this is now I've finished maybe with the first setup activities here. So I stop here and I start with working here. So I set machine and labor to running, and I go to the machine and take my first piece here, and then here in this table down there, I've got a repeated data request with the first line here, where I can say, okay, the yield is now 1, no scrap, and that's I leave it like that. And finally, when I finish with my first piece, I just press this execute confirmation button here, and the system does automatically capture all this data here, recalculates all this data, sets this actual to 0, puts all these activities here in this table, creates the process message, and creates a new line. And I'm just flipping over to 30 right now, and then the yield remains as it was here. So I just have to go to my machine again and work on the second step, and you see here above here that this yield has been also shown here, and I press the second execute confirmation, so that means the second piece of work has been finished. And now you see here that something happens also for this operation. And maybe I have some setup I have to do, so I do some more setup here, and I'll finished with that setup again. And maybe now in the next time I just have a scrapped piece. So I just say, okay, this is scrapped. I confirm this. And now what you see here, I also put some big buttons here for easier navigation with touchscreen. Set this again to 1. And you see here this step here, so that means that I've got a scrap here, so no yield has been confirmed here, and so on. So now I'm continuing with a normal confirmation. So that is the concept of this confirmation screen. And a few things I can show you here. What I have also implemented here is that these are not scrolling here. Maybe I've shown this because I think I've shown this to you. But anyway, and this is for going up and going down. Maybe what you also notice, but I'm not sure, is that if I'm adding a new line, and this will of course be done when I press this confirmation here, then the focus is automatically set here to the last line. In standard, the focus is not set to the last line, and that's sometimes not so nice if you have to scroll down all the time. Actually, I don't hear anybody. Are you still with me?
Admin, this is Mohan.
Okay.
Yeah, we have.
You're silent with awe, I see.
Most of us are on mute, I think.
So yeah, let's stop this here.
Admin, can I ask one question here?
Yes, sure.
Whatever this settings you're showing, like auto scroll and like showing the previous page, next page, like showing there's bigger icons. So all this functionality is like style sheet changes, right?
Yes, exactly.
So are you, SAP delivering this kind of new enhancements to the style sheet as part of the 603 version?
We've had some extensions in PHP 2, I think, with some style sheet enhancements where some icons, I think that was for PI sheet actually, but there were some icons here added here at the page level above here. What I show here is really some coding I did by myself to have something to show as demos for ASAC or something like that. So it's not available right now, and but what right now I'm in the process of compiling a document at least describing how to do this style sheet modification and driving some hints what to do and maybe what not to do.
Okay.
But I'm not sure whether I can really say I'll package this for maybe that's what I can do in the future to package such a thing in SDN. But what I would say is more likely is if you're interested in that functionality, please send me an email and I will fill in one of our consultants, and then we will do this as a sort of consultant solution, which would be of charge, of course, because you have to pay that consultant. By that, I'm also sure that I can explain to somebody really how to do it, and then you get exactly what you want here.
Okay, that's sure.
So that'll be feasible for me, and maybe in future I will ship that also by SDN, but right now I don't have the time to do all this, because this also has to be documented. If I just put it on SDN, if that would be without any comments, then this is of little use for you maybe.
Okay.
That would be good.
Yes, I assume. One last thing which I also showed here at this demo was the following. Actually, two things. I'm not sure whether do it here. Maybe I'll just do create a comment here. Just for test. Shift mode. But first, I'll demonstrate this because I know this will surely work. Maybe you know that with the XSteps it's possible, even for a release order, to add a new PI sheet, a new productive PI sheet for an already released order, to do some rework, some additional steps that might be needed for any exceptional work. Okay, and you have to do this, and I show you this to you in the order. Actually, it has been done already in that order. You can. I need to go to change mode. What you can do here, or what you have to do here, then is create a new tree here, and then create anything you like here, or for example, copy and paste one of the productive ones here, and then you've got it all here, and then generate the new control recipe. Of course, this takes a lot of manual steps, and you need to have authorization to do all this. But what Uwe from development has done for the ASAC was a real cool thing. Is he created a function module where you can do this from within API sheet, and this is how it is done. Here I can select a control recipe destination actually. So behind that is the two-digit control recipe destination key. For example, rework like this. Then I press this button, and what is done now, I get a pop-up with all the content of the NXS repository. And then I can choose, for example, here I've got a folder, standard rework, or maybe something like that, machine setup or something. And now you see here, XStep pre-created, rework action auto-generated, used machine setup. And now I'm going back to that same production order. Now what you see is actually two of these. That one was already there, and that one has been automatically generated by my action I did right now. So this was automatically created and generated. So the only thing I need to do here is to send this control recipe. Let's see here. That was bad. I started the job. Maybe I do it again. Anyway, you will. I think it is the same if I'm. Just see here. So this is the that one I created before with the same schema. And additionally, I'd like to show. I created a comment, and hopefully this is active for that resource. See the comment here, and let's see what the log says here. Yeah, oh. Okay, no shift not created. But what we can do here, there's a new functionality which is called shift report, and that is something where you can collect shift nodes for a certain shift, and then you've got a complete report. That way you can see what happened in each shift, and you can enhance the process message category PI_com, which is always used when you create a comment in a PI sheet, and you can add a new destination, and I can show you what we did here. Destination, and here you see there's a new destination here added, which uses a certain that function module in this case, where we could also send this comment as a shift note to the sheet report. That was also something we've shown last year in APAC.
You mean like you're collecting all these nodes based on the shift into separate table?
Actually, what is done, I will. Let's look at this. What is done here is that I collect the operation and the process order, and in the operation with that information I can find out the resource, and the resource has a connectivity to this new functionality. I've got a colleague here right beside who could answer some specific questions better, but that's what I can tell you now.
No, that's fine.
Okay, so and by the way, this whole let's go back into this this one here. So what I do here when I press this button is of course also collecting the data that I gathered here and write it into that table. So I also use these tabular parameters to update the table. Again, such example. And for maybe also good to mention, it is although it is possible to use tabular parameters here in a table. In a tabular function module, you shouldn't do it, because I have always problems with doing that. So I always use a function module which is outside any table, and do some gathering and shifting from one table to another table from outside. So that's a best practice, I would say.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because last time when we implemented initially, our consultants suggested in that way.
Yes.
I mean, like last time when we implemented PPPA here, so that functionality which I sent you, I mean, which we had the issue now in Xtends. So that's the same solution the consultants was provided to us in classical PA sheets.
Yeah.
So now, since we are planning to migrate the classical PA sheets to Xtends, so business is expecting the same thing, whatever they are saying in the classical PA sheet. So.
Yes, I mean it's a good way of working with a lot of tables.
Yeah.
Also, you can what you can do, or what one of my customers has done. There is they have a packaging process where they have a multi-run process. So that means for one process order, they had to go through the same steps n times. So they had a number of batches they wanted to create with the same process order, and for each batch they had to do the same setup and packaging and different steps. So of course you can do this one after another, and that's what they did. They created for every of these batches. It was an ending number. It was not too much. They created one phase where they then automatically generated these stuff into each phase. But what you can also do is you create all these operations or the phases there, and for every batch in that case, you would have one line in these tables, right? So then you can work from top to bottom, and then you finish your first batch, and then you go up again. Maybe you can use a hyperlink there, yeah, and then you create a new line for the batch in every of these tables. So that of course means that you need to do it all with tables, because then of course a single data element would not make much sense.
Okay.
Okay, so any more topics, questions, chatting?
Yeah, I would like to ask one more question. Can I go ahead with my question?
Yes, please.
Yeah, see today in CO60, so in the selection criteria, so we have one field called operation group, which is similar to our controller speed destination address.
Yes.
So now once we start using XSteps, so in case of XSteps, so we are planning to use the same destination type. It's more reusability perspective, right, out of this repository.
What do you want to use? I didn't understand it.
I'm sorry. See, the controller speed destinations in XSteps, so we are assigning the destination to the XStep level.
Yes.
So if you want to use the same XStep in multiple PA sheets or multiple master recipes with different operating groups.
Yes.
So let's assume we have the line 1 business, line 2 and line 3. So we have like 3 groups of teams where people are going to work in shop floor. So this, in case of like a classical PA sheet, so we can differentiate that through the operating group, which is equivalent to our controller speed destination.
Yes.
But in case of XSteps, if we are planning to use couple of XSteps across the multiple operating groups, so in that scenario, we cannot use multiple controller speed destinations. This is just
true. Yeah, I mean, that's true because the control recipe destination is really the key for defining. Okay, this is one PI sheet, or it is another PI sheet. Yes, and if you've got same instructions to different operator groups, you would need to replicate them there. Yeah, or you need to create maybe one generic one if they don't need to work on it in parallel. I mean that's one of the questions you need to pose yourself. If in one process order, how many people need to work in parallel on things in the PI sheet? And if there are parallel working steps, that is definitely a need for a separate control recipe destination. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I mean like basically like if I see in the repository perspective, an XSteps repository perspective, so in this case like we have to create like basically we need to copy the standard XStep and change the destination type.
Yes.
So that's what we are doing today. But like is SAP or like you have any plans in future just to come up like another kind of like a different kind of solution?
That is no, I don't think so.
Okay.
The only difference I see compared to the classical process instructions and XSteps in that area is that you can send instructions for the same phase to different control recipe destinations.
Yep.
Yeah, because that's not a key of the phase anymore. So that's the only big difference. All else is the same.
Okay, gotcha.
What about the others? Do you have any questions? Comments? Anybody? No? Okay. So more on anything else?
I think I have so many questions today. So.
No problem. So maybe you could do the rating of the session if you like here on the bottom left side. I mean, we can also finish early if nobody else has any questions or wants to see something. Not a problem by me. I'm quite busy these days. But Okay. Right. So then I would call it for the day. So we will finish for now. If you've got any suggestions for the future, please send me a mail, and I'll send an invitation for next time, which will probably be the 6th of the 1st of April. Yeah, 1st of April. So then till then, have a good time.
Yeah.
Thank you, Anya. Okay. Bye. Bye.
Bye all. Bye bye.